Hello, and welcome to No Longer a People Pleaser. My name is Tina Rose, if this is your first time here. And I want to talk about how I spent years reading every room and reading every face, measuring my value by every smile, collecting approval like scattered coins, hoping that each day I might have enough acceptance to feel my self-worth. I became an expert at everyone else's needs, a translator of other people's moods, and a keeper of peace. I became someone who was quietly abandoning myself. I said yes when my soul whispered no. I carried burdens that were never mine to carry. I stretched, shaped, and softened my edges, believing love had to be earned. Everything changed when I woke up with the clarity that all of life is a mirror. It showed me my exhaustion from the endless, hidden, suppressed pain. Life showed me the loneliness of not knowing and being my true self. So I began a different journey, a journey still full of fear, but I was facing it head on. One where I walked with faith, and my faith slowly led to trust. Not towards perfection, not towards being perfect, but towards the presence of what was truly within me, the presence of God within me. Not toward pleasing others, but toward the truth of the one I really needed to please, myself. I learned that self-worth is not a reward for me being useful. It is not a trophy for sacrifice that I make. There is no payment for my overgiving. Self-worth is not something granted by anyone else's approval. Self-worth is the quiet knowing that I matter, even when I disappoint someone. I am worthy, even when I am misunderstood. I belong, even when I say no. And slowly, very slowly, I stopped chasing my reflection in other people's eyes and what worth that they put on me. I started listening to my own heart, even when it felt scary and risky. I joined the Follow Your Heart Club. That's what I used to call it, and I still do, I guess. But my theme song became I Can See Clearly Now. I Can See Clearly Now. That was literally my theme song. I'm trying to remember. I remember I was at the first Zaxby's that I ever visited. And we're talking 25, 30 years ago. At least 30 years ago, I think. I can't remember what town I was in. I was in South Carolina. Anyway, I digress. So my theme song became I Can See Clearly Now. And I remember I just felt so much lighter at that point. And I was at that Zaxby's, and it was a beautiful spring, sunny day. The weather was perfect. And the sky, it just felt like it was showering love on me. I was on a natural high, for sure, that at that time. It's like I had awakened. I saw that I did have a chance. I was going to be able to be truly happy and understand how to communicate and love myself. And that's when I started honoring my own limits trusted how I was feeling, and that was foreign, and it was baby steps. I let my no become sacred, and my yes became genuine. That took time. All of it did. Always baby steps. But I could see that I was making a difference now. I was choosing to live a new way, even though it was 3 steps forward and 2 steps back. And now when I stand before the world and I do not ask, how can I make everyone happy? Instead, I ask, how can I remain true to myself while meeting every moment? This is how I live now. And in that question, I found something that approval outside myself could never give me. I found home within me, my true being. I found a worth that cannot be negotiated, a love not earned, but remembered. And this reflection, this story, has been just a short summary of my sacred journey from people-pleasing to self-worth. Self-worth and self-love are deeply connected. And different people can experience one without the other, actually. But for the purposes of this channel and based on my healing experience, I suggest that self-worth, and from my experience, often comes first. And first for me is what I felt. And then self-love. I feel this was the path I took. I venture to say that I didn't just have low self-worth. I had no self-worth. I could not hold a feeling of worth for my being here in this body, here on this earth, for my existence. I know that sounds so extreme, but that's what I experienced. That's what I felt. I felt extreme self-betrayal, self-sacrifice, denial, on and on. I had only that spark of God's love that never went out. It always stayed with me. I'm thankful for that because that's all I had. In A Course in Miracles, Jesus calls it the Holy Spirit. We also know it as the higher self, your inner being. It was always right here within me, even though I didn't know it consciously. It was in my late 30s that I finally began to feel God. Before that, I hadn't believed in God because I never had a love that I could calibrate to. I had never received honest love and honest love. So I first had to develop some sense of belonging here, some sense of having a right to be myself just as I was in any given moment in time. This is where I further built on these two underlying elements, self-worth and self-love, that generally support our emotional health, resilience, and our overall well-being. Self-worth is the recognition that you have inherent value simply because you exist. It's the belief, I matter. My needs, feelings, and boundaries are always important. The ground that I stand on is the same ground that everyone else stands on. It's in a different part of the world, but it's all one ground. And this is affirmations that I would say to myself that helped me grow into self-worth, feeling self-worth. And self-love is how you treat yourself because of that recognition. It's the practice of kindness and compassion, respect, and general caring for yourself. In this sense, self-worth is the foundation and self-love is the expression. When a people pleaser begins healing, like I did, they often first realize my value, my self-worth is not determined by what I do for others. These are the realizations. I deserve the same consideration I give to everyone else. As self-worth grows, self-love becomes easier because I no longer see caring for yourself as selfish or undeserved. Self-worth makes self-love possible. Self-love strengthens self-worth. It's circular. You know, it's like what comes first, the chicken or the egg? Together, they reinforce one another over and over. Now, there are other factors that play into this progression. It all works together, like being aware of your daily self-talk, you know, noticing your negative self-talk, and accepting and embracing patterns, those people patterns that need to heal, and having compassion for yourself, and many others. But the foundation of it all is having faith in what God's love means. And just today, I heard somebody have an acronym. It's not mine. I heard someone say it. It was that guy, Nick, Life Without Limbs. He's a great motivational speaker, and he's funny. I was laughing at things that he was saying. He's incredible. But his acronym for faith was full assurance in the heart. I thought that was something interesting to put up here. But the foundation of it all of this healing, is faith in what God's love means. God's love says, because you exist, you already belong. Mic drop. If you don't use the word God, replace with whatever you believe, your inner being, the universe's love, regardless, it's all the same creator, the one. You are worthy. No more people pleasing. My heart-centered friend, know your value and treat yourself with love. And I hope this met someone where they are, resonates with someone today. From myself, from my higher self, and from all my guides, we love you, we see you, we honor you, and we trust you. Talk to you next time.